live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. This is the Youth Dialogue with me, Jul Denjai. Thank you very much for staying with us from wherever you're watching us from. It's always good to be back to this platform to engage young people, to talk about things that will really impact, inspire, and motivate other young people out there to live a meaningful but also fulfilling lives. This is the Youth Dialogue, like I mentioned. It is all about, dialogue with young people. It's all about finding solutions to the problems that are existing in this country. The future is youth in this country. The future is youth. So as far as young people are concerned, the Gambia would really move forward as far as development is concerned. Last week we were here and we were talking about vehicle tracking. And I have Adama here. She did exceptionally well, I must say. So this time around, like we always do, this program, it's meant to inspire, but also impact the lives of individuals. But also the most important thing about this program is that it provides solutions to the existing problems in the Gambia. So this evening, I am joined by Aliu Sow, who is the CEO and founder of Plastic Recycling Gambia Limited. He will be joining me to discuss about his journey, what he is recycling, the purpose of the recycling company that he actually established, and the impact that this company really has had in the Gambia. So good evening, Mr. Sow.
Hi, good evening, viewers, but good evening, Julia. Thank you so much for inviting me here to talk about something that I'm so passionate about, plastic recycling. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Yeah. It's always a pleasure to invite young people here to talk about life-changing initiatives. So, but first things first, let's talk about your company, Plastic Recycling Gambia Limited. When was this company actually established, and why was it really established in the first place?
Thank you for that important question. When was it established? I will say in 2017, December 2017, officially registered. But from May 2017, we started working on it while I was away. And then we returned to register 2017. But officially, that was when it started. But before we could get the machineries and keep going, it takes a year or so before we could start actually processing the plastics. It is important for me as an environmentalist. I'm passionate about saving the environment. And when I, as a Gambian staying here, I saw the biggest problem is waste management. And when you talk about waste management, you think of the kind of waste we have, and plastic make a big percentage of that. So I want to venture into recycling. So that's how the idea came about. And also, the way it creates jobs worldwide, I know the kind of job creation it can impact in a country, and of course cleaning the environment. So that's passion gave me the go ahead to look for partners to come and start it here. Yeah.
So you did mention that this whole idea actually started when you were away.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to know were you away through the backway journey, or what happened? Where were you?
No, actually, I didn't go to backway. I was working in the hospital industry in the Gambia, precisely hotels industry. I work in Kairaba Hotel, and I moved to Saratin the hotel before it was Saratin after it changed to Coral. From there, we were taken to United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi, the capital, and then Dubai, of course. So I work in several hotels for 6 years in United Arab Emirates. But after 6 years, I wanted to come home. First, I went to the Netherlands to try and study hotel management. But before I could start the study, I missed a part of that for that year. So I wanted to stay there, of course, to live in the Netherlands. But the idea of coming home, it was still stuck in my head, and to come and do something. So that's where this company, or this idea of recycling came about, because my friends, I came with them to Dakar, and my Dutch friends, family friends, and they introduced me to a guy when we were in St. Louis, who is also a Dutch guy, and he's doing recycling. So that's how we went back to the Netherlands, and I stayed there for another 3 months. I trained in his company as a recycler, types of plastic, the machineries, and I was ready to come home with him to help me establish. So he's an expert in recycling for more than 45 years. So they help me and teach me this type of business and this type of recycling.
Leaving the Netherlands for the Gambia to start up a company, it's very rare among young people. But yeah, this is what we need actually to develop as a country. We need that, you know, young people to actually sacrifice for country, and that is all geared towards ensuring that we are also there from third developing countries to the first developing countries. I know I am optimistic that it will happen one day, but what does it take for someone who is watching and be like, okay, because the way you're saying it, it seems so easy to start up a recycling company, because you mentioned that you went there to study. Okay, eventually you met up with a guy who is into recycling, and you know, you shift now. You decided to embark on that. Is it that simple?
No, not at all. I went there to look for also greener pasture, to study or get work, or just to settle in the Netherlands actually. But with the focus of, if I have something like a project or a company to bring home, definitely I will choose to stay home and employ a lot of people and make impactful, make an impact here. So it wasn't an easy journey. Those 3 months, even in the Netherlands, going to train, recycling, it's, you know, and coming back here as well. Of course, the negativity, especially recycling, not many people are into it, or many people they don't know it. To create the employment, the staff, and go around to pick the plastics in the street. Before, like I said, before we start, from 2017 December up to 2019, we were having delayance of machineries and things, documentation and things like that. So that period was really tough, and at some time you want to give up to go back again. But we believe in the future impact that it will cause, so we stick to it. But yeah, it was really hard and difficult. Anyone watching, you want to come into business, you have to be ready and have a program, have stages to go, and be ready to not having, like the biggest problem we have is we want an easy and quick success. Sometimes it can go 5 years and it can fail, but if you stick to it, definitely it will come. We learn step by step, because like I said, I don't have experience in recycling or creating a company. So we fall, we get up, and we stick to it again. So, but it was a really, really challenging moments, and fighting financially and on the environment as well, because here in Europe it is easy. The way we were working there in those 3 months, it's easy just to company to call you, or you go to a place where they put their segregate their waste, to go and pick the waste that you need and come and recycle them, or someone will deliver to them for free. But here you have to go in the street, in the dump site, you know, in the river, in the mangroves. Plastic is everywhere, so they throw it everywhere. So
polluting our environment.
Yes, so that was difficult to pick those plastics, and with the climate and everything, it was really tough before we could keep going. And when we keep going also, it was just less than a year, Corona came in. So that was another
disruption.
Another distractions. But we stick to it. We said we have to make these things work, and Alhamdulillah, we are a step further now, that we are moving. But it was really a challenging moment.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that part of the issue that caused the delay was the issue of the concept to environment, but also finance. So how were you able to get the capital to start up a company of this nature?
Thank you. Like I said, I was trained by Dutch experts in the Netherlands, and they helped me to get a startup capital to buy the machine, and also to buy the plastics and pay the rent that when we came here, we looked for a place to rent, and then it was from that fund grant they helped me to get access to in the Netherlands from RVO, which is from the Dutch government. We could get a small capital to get the machine. They bought the machine there for me, and then here they could rent. They came here, they paid the rent, and then we bought about 30 tons of plastic waste. So from that we could start. That helped us to actually start. But that was not enough, like the staffs, and also the delay that happened when the money finished before we could even start the actual processing and selling the plastics. So that was a tough moment because the machine should have come at 2018 earliest, like March 2018, but it came up to 2019 March.
Nice.
So that was a big delay, but yeah, that was tough. We went everywhere to look for more funding because we don't want it to. We have already started. We have already committed ourselves, and we don't want it to just stop. So it was a tough moment. But what the expert, the Dutch people were giving me was the expertise for free, which is they come here, train me, and I go to Netherlands every year 2 times. They train me in the company, and then the market as well. They know the African market a lot. They were in Senegal, they were in Guinea, and doing the same recycling, helping young people to start up. So I was lucky to have a very good guidance from them, and that kept me going. Yeah.
So in terms of the number of people, because it's one thing to establish a company, but it's another also to get young people to work in that company, to impact their lives. So how many people are you, did the company really employ as of now?
Yeah, like I said, it's a difficult industry or difficult side of business. Not many people will want to be in the dump site or in the street or in the river picking up plastic. When we first started, people thought we are even crazy that we are picking something they call just waste. You know, they see waste just as waste. You just throw or burn or burn, you know. So we saw waste as a resource. So in that, we try to convince the youth. First, you go to the people you know, like friends or family or things like that. You try to bring them in. Whenever you are stuck, they will be with you. So we try to convince so many people to join us, and later on we employ 12 permanent staff. And that was permanent staff, but the ladies that were coming to wash the plastic who are on contract, you wash and you are paid per kilo, anything you wash in the day. So it was almost, sometimes we go 60 ladies, sometimes we go 50 ladies coming to the site to wash the plastic. Those were on contract. And also the scavengers, we try to create collection centers because we cannot be everywhere. So we have almost 22 to 23, if I count Bara, we have 23 collection centers around the greater Banjul area here and Bara. So in those collection centers, you have 1 or 2 people working there, picking and cutting plastic for you, and then buying themselves from the environment, from the area they live. So you can have 22 plus the 50 on the contract, and then you get the 12 permanent staff employed.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you look at it, it's almost 100 people who were in the company, directly and indirectly. Yes, impactful.
So, but one might also want to ask, because we're just talking about plastic recycling, recycling. For my Jola and Zero people, they might kilo more wahni. So tell us precisely what is plastic recycling, what does it take, and how do you go about sorting out the different plastics?
Yeah, that was very important because when we all look at plastic here, people will just, like me before I start, plastic is just plastic. They are all plastic, but they have different families, you know, different components, and each one have its own use. So that's what I learned in those 3 months for first. That's, you know, now I can teach the Jolas and the Seres about that. But I was like them before, you know. So we have 7 different types of plastics. You know, they are all here in the Gambia. And one of them was banned and is still banned by Gambia government. The last government banned it, and it's still banned, but it's still in use now. It's very rampant around, which is the most dangerous plastic, in fact, which is the LDPE, the low density polyethylene, the mousse we call them.
Okay.
It is banned. Before, in few years back, you don't see people selling water on bag.
Yeah.
Even the water companies were banned to produce water
yes.
in bag. You know, but it's here again, and it's rampant everywhere. I just passed when I was coming. We just passed by the market, and there are so many of those bags. And worldwide, they are very hard to recycle. I think it's only 3% of it worldwide is recycled. And it's really causing a big environmental hazard in our river, in our even our animals. If you are a fuller man, sometimes you see your cow, it will just swallow that mousse and LDPE back, and then you see the stomach going. The only solution you have is to slaughter it, because there is no way you can solve that. You can cure that. So it's getting, and when it's in the soil or in the farmland, the crops will not grow there. So if you burn it, it is worst. Nothing will grow where you burn it. So LDP is not recyclable in the Gambia right now, but we are looking for solutions. But the plastic that I'm about 3 to 4 types of plastic I am recycling, or I'm starting also to include, is HDPE, which is all over in our households, and is the crates and these 20-liter gallons and the 5-liter gallons, oil gallons. They are the most used plastic with PP in the Gambia. All over. You see,
and those are the gallons there.
Yeah, in our households, we use cups and bowls and spoons and kettles, chairs. They are all under PP. So and they can be recycled. They are friendly use in the houses, and we go to PET plastics, which is the bottles, water bottles. All over, you see so many water companies right now. Nobody was collecting it, and still now. We want to launch that as well. So we have 3 different types of plastic now, and then the PVC, which is the pipes, the water pipes, the water tanks that you are seeing. We could recycle them now into regrinds. If you ask me how it works, we do collect, like I said, from the street, from the dump site, from the homes. And we also created collection centers. The guy you are seeing on your screen now is our partner in Bara. We created a collection center for him, and he's collecting almost 10 to 15 tons for us a month around Bara, SAO, and around the area. He's called Oja, and a great guy, a great youth guy, and helping us a lot in that collection center out there. So when we collect them, we cut them into small pieces. We segregate them first. Like I said, there are different types of plastics. So we segregate them into their families and color, and then we cut them into small pieces, and then we hire trucks. We don't have our own trucks yet, but we hire trucks to go and pick it for us and bring it to our center, where we have those 12 staffs to do the segregation, do the weighing, and the ladies now will come in to wash.
Wow.
They wash, and then we weigh it and pay them per kilo. And then after washing, then we have the grinding machine come in.
Hope you are paying them good.
Yeah, of course.
We
are
hope your company is not exploiting my ladies there.
No. It's creating job for them, because it doesn't need education. It doesn't. We don't ask whether they go to university or certificate. So it's helping those ladies out there. And of course, with the youths also, it doesn't need educational background. So we try to teach them everything about what we work and how it goes. So when we grind them into small particles, regrinds, we put them into 25 kg bags. And before we were supplying, and even now we will be supplying the plastic manufacturing companies, because recycling people.
In the Gambia?
Yes, in the Gambia and as well as Senegal. Recycling people will just tend to think it is manufacturing other plastic from plastic waste. But before the manufacturing stage, there are so many things happening. Like I said, picking it from the street, knowing the plastics, the types of plastic, what they do, and then washing it, grinding it. That's the biggest stage. In Europe or other continents, they separate recyclers or manufacturers from us who are just doing the picking and sorting and things like that, which is the mechanical recycling that we are doing. That is very, very important and more impactful. And manufacturers cannot leave the company or their machine to go and pick plastics. So we are there for them to supply them these raw materials, these regrinds. But right now, we are trying to also manufacture some small items. And that is a joint venture that we have with my friends in Gunjur, and that was brought to us by the help of NEA and their partner UNDP. We could get a small machines to manufacture now chairs, benches, and key rings made of tortoise, the key rings, and of course even the ladies' chains and things like that. Just small.
I'll be supplied with.
Yeah, of course. You can visit the factory at Gunjur at any time, and we are making all those products, and we are supplying especially the tourist market. But yeah, it's really nice feeling to see now that the plastic we were picking and regrinding, to see a product make out of it directly from us. That is something that I will thank the National Environment Agency with their partner UNDP. They help us to start that up, and we are now looking to expand, to get more bigger machineries and to produce and to process a lot of like tables, school chairs, out of plastics, which other countries like Kenya and Ghana are way ahead, and we want to join them globally. Yeah.
So in terms of the number of plastics that you recycle either monthly, let's say yearly, what is it? Yeah,
before we were doing 30 tons per month. So 30 tons per month. We want to increase that to 50 to 75 tons. With our new site that we are moving in, we want to go into 50 to 75 so that the sustainability of the company can be realized. Yeah, so 50 tons is a lot to pick from the street, but between 50, if we can reach to 75, it will be real. We can employ more people, and then we can reach, because we are just in the Greater Banjul area here, and we want to reach to other parts in the country. I have been I can say now the whole of Gambia, because we've been to Basse, we've been to Sandu area, we came to Farafenye.
Oh, that's my area.
Yeah, we've been to Soma, the Jarankas. We try to help them clean their environment and teach them something. So the Fonyes, we haven't reached there. So we want to reach those places to pick plastic, but also to create employment for the people out there. So all that plastic, if you could get it, we will be having 50 to 100 tons in a month. And that is a lot that we can create. We can create a lot of employment and clean the environment. We know the impact because if you are just here in Combo and said, I want to clean the environment, and you stay in Combo here, you know, I'm always saying the River Gambia doesn't stop in Combo because it's just a one line, you know, and whenever somebody from Basse throw plastic in that river, you ended up in Banjul. So we want to catch it from there, from homes, not only from dump site, but we want to take the plastic waste from homes, from schools that we are engaging, from companies out there, institutions. We want to get the plastic from the source, not from when it arrives at the dump site as well. So yeah, we're trying to scale, and we're trying to reach our target, inshallah.
In that. So, but how big is the market? Because you're talking about 50 tons per month, and you're also expecting to expand your production. How big is the market for that?
Yeah. For the types of job we are doing, which is this mechanical recycling of plastics, I will say the market is we cannot supply, the demand is higher than what we can supply right now, because plastic regrinds is needed worldwide, not only in Gambia here, Senegal, but even in the Asian market, European market. If you get the regrinds, they will come and export it, because a lot of things you are seeing here, from bags, shoes, cars, they need this plastic, what we are picking, to produce it. The televisions, the cameras, they are component of the plastic that we are picking. So they will reach out if you have. They will always ask, do you have the volumes like 50 to 100 tons? And sometimes we couldn't supply the market. We couldn't supply even one company to cover them.
With the number of plastics in this country.
Yeah, it's really really expensive to run a recycling factory. That's why not a lot of people are venturing into it, because the machineries picking up those, and you need to know the types as well, because if you make a mistake on mixing the plastic or picking plastic and mixing them, the companies will reject them. Sometimes you can even have 30 tons and you take it to a company and they will reject all of them, and you need to bring it back. So also the expense, there is, before you could stand, it takes a lot of funds to buy the plastic, to get the machineries right, and it's take a lot of efforts, a lot of energy, and a lot of funds to start. But once you are there and you can get 50 to 100 tons in a month, or maybe 100 tons, the more you go up, the better that you have a better market to supply, because no one will come to have a contract with you or coming to buy from you 10 tons or 5 tons. That's almost nothing to them. So they want a bigger volume. But to reach that bigger volume, like I said, it will take...
requires a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work and a lot of fundings, a lot of money to invest in it,
But as part of your initiative to actually expand the whole production and everything, do you have plans to partner with the area councils, local government, to actually, because also you're solving part of their problems. Problems of this country is plastic, waste is everywhere. So do you have plans of partnering with them, by providing them with, for instance, dustbins, so that they can be able to put these plastics in, and where you can also take it from there?
Of course, we've been into municipalities. I think there is almost no office that I didn't knock at their doors for more than 5 years or so, from government or central government to local government, the councils. So it's a problem. They are facing challenges of segregating waste. That's where it starts first. Like I said, when I pass the markets now, all their waste, from food, from organic waste to plastic waste, clothing, everything is mixed up. And it shouldn't be like that, because there's no dustbin where to throw the plastic and things like that. We are partnering with them by using their dump sites where they bring the plastic. We segregate it from there. But we don't want the plastic to reach the dump site. That's even dangerous for us and a big health hazard. For us to be in the dump site every day. Like I said, we want to target the plastics in homes or in the market, in the schools, so that we can segregate it. That's a plan there, but we don't have the capacity or the fundings to install dustbins from our side. Councils doesn't do that yet. They don't reach there. So our homes as well, all our waste, we don't segregate. It's all bundled up in one pile. So it's very difficult for us as well to segregate. But we have started getting these big bags into strategic places, and especially our collection centers, where we have scavengers throwing the plastic in there that we can just come and weigh and take around. And even the institutions, we are now partnering with other institutions, and we have an MOU with some other institutions that their plastic waste, we took our own bags there and they're throwing the plastics there. Even the American Embassy, we have an MOU with them now, from the embassy to their warehouses to their residents. They are putting the plastics in our bags that we created, and we can just go and pick it. So that's The municipality, we couldn't, maybe we will reach there, but we haven't tried to get them those bags, but in a strategic place, we are trying to get those bags installed so that it can help us also, and it can help them. The plastic, like in the dump sites, if you see the burning happening there, and the dangers of the smokes, especially from plastics and from rubber, which is the tires, I think they should not reach the dump site. But we working closely with them at especially the Bakote dump site, where I'm using one of their sheds now, the newly built sheds, and we are segregating the plastics. So we have an MOU with them, and we are working closely with them. Hopefully, I can reach to all the councils, and that's my target now, and we can see how to get the plastic before they reach the dump sites. Yeah.
So since you started off in 2017, how would you assess the impact your company had in waste management in the Gambia?
Yeah, a lot. 30 to 50 tons out of the street, out of the dump site, out of the gutters. Yeah, that's a big impact to clean the environment. If you are not collecting those 30 tons or 50 tons, they will still be there in the environment. And during the rainy season, we have seen a lot of floods happening. People are saying we don't know what brings these floods, and it's the waste that is, and especially plastic. We have seen, especially at Churchilltown, always it's stuck with water, and water is coming out because the plastic have been thrown in the gutter, and they are stocked. The gutters are not meant for plastic, are not meant for waste, but this is where we are collecting, we are cleaning the gutters, and also the burning in our street. People are cleaning and burning the plastics. We know what those smoke are causing. A lot of people are facing with cancer and other things, breathing problems. We try to mitigate that or stop that. And of course, when I come to the impact of the employment, I count almost 100 people here. All of them are making a living out of these plastics, and it's something that we are really touched and proud of. And if you expand, it can go more than 200 to 500 people who will benefit in this recycling, and also the education we are creating. On how to keep your plastic and what is plastic, you know, and we go into the schools. You can see, I saw a picture here where school children came to our warehouse, and they were like, wow, we didn't know that there's plastics in our homes, and you know, we want to catch them when they were young, when they are young, and we want to go to the schools and teach them about recycling, because in all my 12 years education, I didn't learn anything about recycling. I didn't learn anything about waste management, and it's something that I will use the opportunity and hope our educational system also will include something like this, and something very, we have an environment studies, SES, in school, but I don't see something like
plastic management,
plastic or waste management, or you know, how to impact by growing trees around. So that's something that I'm proud to be associated to, and showing the young people how it is done, and it is doable here, how they are seeing it on movie. It is happening right in their faces. And of course, I think those three impact: the employment, the education, and then the cleaning of the environment. That impact for me, it's the best feelings that motivates me every day to continue doing this, and of course to scale it into even a bigger company that will reach countrywide, so that everyone can benefit. Yeah.
So in terms of, you mentioned gutters, and initially you talked about a little bit on the legislative or regulatory framework, and you talked about the fact that, okay, we have the laws here, but people are not really, to some extent, respecting the laws here. Waste is everywhere in the Gambia. So you are someone who established a recycling company. how do you think that we can regulate or we can effectively strengthen the regulatory frameworks in this country to manage plastic or waste?
Yeah, everything have to do with law. Without laws governing us, I think we will not even be here.
But the laws are there, but still now people are
so that's where I come to implementation. Okay. Laws are beautifully made, but if they are not implemented, it will be difficult. And there should be a big charges and levied on this. Anybody who break the law, impactful ones, like the police are going around checking drivers, whether you have a license or whether your tire is good. That's how we should check the environment. There should be somebody policing, and that's the NEA. And I think they should bottle up on that, especially on this LDPE, soft plastic they call it, and which, you know, last time I was there with my friend Usainu Gambia cleaning the gutters at Westfield and everywhere. But in less than 30 minutes, the amount of LDPE plastics that we removed from the gutters it was just, I was so surprised to see all those plastics, and it's thrown by us. But why is the plastic there? Where are they coming from? And why do they throw them there? It's because, one, they don't have waste bins.
Yeah. Is that an excuse?
No, it's not an excuse, but it can also be an excuse. Because you cannot ask me to keep my waste in my hands until I go home. Or yes, I usually try to practice that. I have a bag, small bag in my bike that I'll put there, but not everybody can do that. People are working to go to a program or go to the hospitals, and they're having waste in their hands. There's no dustbins all over in our streets. So where will they throw it? People are selling in the streets, and nobody is also policing them, that what they're selling, like these coffee cups, and groundnut and everything, they are having license to sell. They are having, I think they're cutting duties or ticket. They should be made to make so the I don't know who is policing them, but it's the councils or the NEA. But their waste, they should be make sure to clean it and put it in a dustbin or have a dustbin next to them. If they don't have it, they should be linking with the municipality or NEA to provide those dustbins or buy it from them, and then put their waste there. But all said and done, I think the NEA need to stop this plastic from coming in. We have so many containers coming in the country, which is, you know, people are sending so many goods to Gambia, second-hand goods from Europe, and all over. China is sending, Turkey is sending, and when these goods are coming, they are wrapped with plastic. Why should they wrap with plastic? And all those plastic is LDPE, and nobody's checking them, and they could be wrapped with other things. And I think those people in America, in Europe, are wrapping them on a purpose. I think they are sending their plastic waste to importing it to the country. They are happy to wrap your furniture or your television in a plastic bag, but they will not do it in their country. So they want those plastic to go out of their country, and then where is those plastic ending? In the market. If you buy a shirt today, it's wrapped in a bag, and you see somebody open it and just throw the plastic. So those plastic were banned here for a reason. And I'm calling on the government and the National Environment Agency to help us on that, because it's really a dangerous plastic. And even in America or in Europe, they cannot recycle this. They have trouble in recycling this LDPE, the mousse. But it is here again, and it is all over. It is the most, I will say, dangerous plastic that is causing so much harm in our environment. And it is very hard to pick up, you know, because when you when you throw it, it can mix with the soil, or it gets dirty easily. So it's very hard to, but it has to be joint efforts between the government to implement the ban, and then the NEA to the local councils to provide the dustbins and police those people selling in the street, and also us, the people. So I think there
I
should
think
be...
the biggest problem is the people, really.
I will not say the biggest problem. I think if they are not policed, people will do anything they want. Even if there was no police or no regulation in the street, cars will drive anyhow. People, but they are afraid of the police. Human beings need to be policed everywhere, even in our religion. You need to be policed. If you do this thing happen to you. But if they are left to be free
like
then it's a problem. But also, like I said, that's the problem where they will throw the waste. But they have to create themselves where to throw the waste. They will tell you, we are paying this to the council, we are paying this tax to the government, and they should provide them with the dustbins. And they have that right.
At least
because I speak to the people in the street.
60% should actually be plowed back to the people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I also think should be media sensitization should happen. I can remember when I'm feeling that I'm getting old. So when the traffic light came,
now it's a media, but I think we're doing a bit.
No, not you guys, but the NEA and the council should partner with you.
With the
That's
media,
what I mean.
Sure,
and then do this campaign. Because people listen to you, the radios, the televisions, and they will know that this is dangerous to throw waste. When the traffic light first set up, that's why still people call it traffic light. The first traffic light in the Gambia was here, Kairaba Avenue. When it first came, what they do, they use the media. You know, the radios, the jolas don't know what is red or green, where to stop, what is yellow. And then it was so nicely on all the televisions, and there was signs, and the radios were talking about it. If it is red, is stop. If it is green, is go. And people get to, oh wow, this is here, this is nice. And so that's what waste management or the councils need to do to partner with the media, all types of media personnels, to showcase that this is dangerous. This is harmful to you yourself who is throwing it. And then people will be made aware. We're trying to do our part. We go to so many places and we talk about the dangers of plastic, and especially this LDPE. But the authorities, we are not authorities. We cannot police them. We cannot tell them stop it. But if the authorities join hand, I think people will be more aware, and they will more take ownership of cleaning their houses or the street. You know, I remember in batteries, it happened as well. Even the schools, we have a campaign where if you bring how many kilos of battery, they give you books and pens and things like that.
Initiatives like that should come back, especially with plastic.
We have that initiative coming up, and to engage the schools and try to students to bring so that we can also support them. And we have that coming. But I think to stop this plastic waste, it's a joint venture by everyone, from government to councils to us and to the schools. Like I said, the students from nursery school to primary school, if you teach them about recycling and dangers of plastic, it's easy to take this message out. From the media to the students, people will be more aware, because the students, they talk to their parents, the kids, they will come and tell you, this is what I learned today, Lee Baho, this is not good, this is what it does, and people will be more aware and take care of their waste and try to segregate, and especially the harmful ones. Organic ones are good, and people are making fertilizers and are making the garden fertilizers and things like that. But plastics, it have to be recycled or be refused, not to be used at all. Plastic shouldn't be thrown in the environment. Is very, very harmful. From the river to our farms to the gutters. I have named different types of dangers of plastic waste. And people are saying now, Jen Amatut, there is no fish. Fish cannot live with plastic in the river. But how much of plastic is entering?
Do people even know that?
Fish will never be close to plastic. But if you go today in the beach, I walk along in our beautiful beach, but how many programs, especially Sunday beach, everybody who have a party will go to the beach, but their trash are there. They have gone home, go there early morning. You will see how much of plastic waste they left behind. And again, there is no dustbin in our beaches. You don't have anywhere to throw your waste. A place like, which is a tourism, bringing so much tourists, tourists will not go in a place which is dirty. And that's where I am scared of. People are talking about tourists will not come because of this and this. The most big in other countries like, I will name like Cape Verde, it's usually
Mr.
where...
Ade's favorite spot.
A few years ago, they were, if you make a research of it, they were, there was no tourists going there. If you ask tourists, they will tell you it's dirty with plastic pollution. So much pollution. They are burning plastic, they are this. You talk to so many tourists. We were in the industries. But now they have cleaned up the place. They put all these trees around, so many dustbins, and even Gambians are talking about going to Cape Verde because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
and Mr. Ade actually talked about Cape Verde, and I was like, I want to go to Cape Verde before the end of the year to actually know what you're talking about.
It's booming in tourism sector, and it's all about cleanliness. And the cleanliness is the best. Build beautiful mansion, beautiful hotels. Tourists will not come because of hotels. Tourists
also, don't you think that it's a concerted effort? Considering that if you have the money to build a 5-star hotel, if you have the money to build all these luxurious buildings and all that, why can't you have the money to also have dustbins around the beach, especially these hotels that are around the beach? It's a concerted effort. It's not always about the government.
That's right. I think the awareness and the authorities need to put this in place. If you don't police them, those who are building hotels, the restaurants at the beach, you must go and check them. The Environment Agency, or it is the GTA Tourism Board, or it is the municipality, everyone have a role to play in this. So they have to tell them, do this or you close. They will do it. They will do it. Even they don't want to do it, they will do it. But you have to also sensitize them why they are doing it. They will take the initiative that, wow, we didn't know that cleaning here, making here beautiful, and not putting waste everywhere will bring in tourists. If a tourist walk around and see a beautiful hotel, clean environment with trees and nice flowers, they will come in.
Nature is beautiful.
Nature is beautiful. That's why people are going to visit countries, not beautiful mansions or beautiful cars or beautiful roads. That's not. But waste, if you don't manage it, I'm afraid nobody will come to a country or even to a compound. Who will want to go to a dirty compound or a dirty street? You know, we see a street is dirty, people will turn, you won't be the why it is still him? Because they didn't control it or clean it.
So it's a problem. Because here also, even at homes, you have your compound, you sweep your compound, and then around the junction, you don't mind to sweep there, or even if you sweep there, you will not sweep the other end. So it's a problem.
It's a big problem.
It is.
I think awareness is there. Is a big problem.
Well, if you monetize this whole thing, government and all civil society or partners, private sector, giving money to people for cleaning the environment, I am sure within a month or less than that, the Gambia will be one of the cleanest country in the world.
That's our focus. That's what we want. We love our country and we want it to be more than Cape Verde. We are jealous of that. And that's why we are in this also, to clean the environment and monetize it. Like you said, nobody see metals now in the street. Even the jewelers are picking metals. Because they are selling it. They are having money from it. So that's the only way. And waste can be controlled. I always think this. It can only be controlled when it's monetized. Waste can be seen as a resource. Waste shouldn't be seen as waste. It cannot be seen as waste. All this waste you are seeing can be recycled into something. From shoes to clothing. And I'll call an institution or government or NGOs to look at recycling. Not only plastic. All this waste can be recycled. And recycling now, the employment it can create is a lot.
It's a lot. Abagwe Ritoni established a recycling company, and he is doing so much. Chairs, these flower vases. He's doing so much fascinating stuff. So we can always introduce something like that.
I watch his show, and I was moved by that because I see myself in his challenges as well, and especially the social challenge that he was calling out. But that's normal. If you want to come and establish a company here or you return here, you have to be ready for those social challenges because we were born with it, unfortunately. And hopefully in the next near future, people will change their mindset on creating such jobs because, like he said, most people want your son or your children to work in a white-collar jobs. You know, in the streets or in this kind of jobs is a no-no. They see you as a crazy guy or so. But you need to focus and know your target and, you know, and prove them that this is, I can do this and I can create an impact. We all went through those social challenges. And, but whenever they see that, wow, this guy is still adamant and is 5 years or is 10 years into it and is making an impact, they will join you.
Sure.
And they will support you at the end.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So as someone who is so vast in this area, it's safe to say that you are an expert in this area now. What do you think it's the alternative to these plastics and all of that? Because you mentioned that previously when you were talking, and you said that there is an alternative to plastics. Yeah. What is that?
Yeah, we're still learning. Not an expert yet. We hope to be there.
Yeah,
but I will tell you, plastic cannot be stopped into produce. Billions or 9 billions of plastic worldwide is manufactured, I mean, yearly, and maybe only 9% is recycled out of those. From America to everywhere, worldwide it is manufactured. And the only solution is recycling. The main solution is recycling, I will say. There is other solution, which is this LDPE, which is to refuse it. Refusing it means they ban. And when you ban this plastic, it's a type of plastic. I'm not saying ban all the plastic. That's impossible for any country to ban plastic. It is impossible. So that's why in the Gambia, in the law, is LDPE, which is the mousse. That is what is banned. And that plastic, the alternative is, there are other types of bags that people can use, which is the clothing bag people create now. And there are other bags, which is like the sacks. You see the other 10, they were selling it at $5, $10 from the shops.
Is it the one like the Ghana Must Go one?
That type? Yeah, $5. Those are not plastic. And you can maintain that for years. You can wash it and reuse it. And the other way, like I said, I just mentioned reusing, is either to reduce it, refuse it, reuse it, and then recycle. These are these 4 R's that you can stop
It's the
plastic.
terminologies for me.
Exactly. So you reduce, you refuse, reduce, refuse, and then you recycle. Or bring it in again. Because plastic, if you go to Europe now, if you want a plastic bag, if you buy something from the market, they charge you for the bag.
Yeah, sure.
And if they charge you for a bag from the shop, you ask for a bag and they charge you 50 cents or so. If you go, you keep that bag, you wash it and keep it and reuse it again. Why are you reusing it? Because you don't want to pay tomorrow again. But here, it's easy, a shopkeeper to sell you small item and you say, "Joh ma mbuus." And he give you the mbuus, the LDPE, you put it there. Maybe before you even reach home, you remove that, you put the things in your bag and you throw the mbuus. You see it everywhere. So the only way, if they don't stop it, is to make charges on it. So people, if they don't want to reuse it, to refuse it, then you need to reuse it by force. Because why are you reusing it? There's money attached.
Especially when it's expensive.
So the ladies going to the market, there are so many baskets like the panier marché. People are not using it much now because it's easy to get a plastic bags from the market. Before there wasn't when it was banned. People have to create the panier and bring it to the market. The shopping basket. So that's the only way to stop plastic waste. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alieu. So it was really an interesting program and educative as well. And I am sure that the viewers who are watching learn a lot, 1 or 2 things as far as plastic is concerned, as far as recycling is concerned. But most importantly, it's taking care of our environment, because the environment is dirty, it's filthy, we must admit. Really, we need to do something about it quick before it gets out of hand. So this is all we have for you in this edition of the Youth Dialogue. Until we come your way next week for another edition, it's bye from me.